I never got into Assassin's Creed. The games never really called to me. I was too busy wasting my life away on MMOs, you know, like a normal person. And I think I'm gonna finally try uh an Assassin's Creed game. I think that one looks really polished. I mean, obviously we would have to see what the gameplay looks like and get a gameplay trailer. Um, but I think maybe I'll try out my first ever one. I don't know. Because, like, very similar to Dragon Age Origins, right? I only got into the Dragon Age series because Inquisition came out. Dragon Age Inquisition came out, and it looked like so much fun. And I was like, wow, this game looks like it's got some real shine and polish on it. And I looked online, and people were like, you really should start with Origins first. And I was like, okay. So I bought all of the games, and then I decided to play, Origins, and I was like, that was the best game I've ever played in my life. And then I played the second game, I forget what it was called, probably Dragon Age dog shit. I can't believe the second game is even a game. It has a few things going for it, a few. I really like the arc with the dwarves. That section of the game was a lot of fun, I'm not gonna lie. But everything else about that game, like the combat was ass, the romances were ass, like blech. And then Inquisition got like a little bit better in some ways and a little bit worse in other ways, right? But I would have never played one of the best games ever made, Dragon Age Origins, if not for Inquisition coming out and like looking so good. And so, in the same vein, this is the first This is the first Assassin's Creed game that I've seen that doesn't look like every single other Assassin's Creed game. Sorry to offend any Assassin's Creed fans. And so I'm like, you know what? Maybe I will try Assassin's Creed game. Maybe I will. I'll try one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm down. Oh, boiled peanuts. Thank you. Assassin's Creed is the only game series I've actually completed. Is it only PS5? It should be PC. I feel like almost all game studios, except for Nintendo. I feel like Nintendo is the only company that doesn't put their games on PC. Maybe like the sports games as well. But I'm pretty sure Assassin's Creed games are on PC, no? Don't save your sanity up to Black Flag and Stip. What does that mean? Play Ghost of Tsushima? I've heard good things about that game. But yeah, I'm down. I'm down to try it out. Assassin's Creed games always felt like to me you had to be invested-ish in the universe to really enjoy the game, which I guess is true of anything. It's a pretty general statement. And none of the Assassin's Creed universes ever really called to me. I think in my head, when I think of Assassin's Creed, I just think about, is it like Civil War? Is it called Civil War? Is that the name of the game? The one about the, like, there's like an American one, right? No? Am I wrong? 1776? That was Assassin's Creed 3. Is that right? I'm trusting. Whenever I think of Assassin's Creed, I think of this game, and then I have like horror flashbacks to my history classes in like middle school, and I'm like, God, that's probably so boring. So I've never picked it up. It has a 6 out of 10 on Steam, which doesn't look good. But anyways. So 1, 2, 3 all have continuing plot, but the others you don't really need any understanding of the previous plots. Oh, okay. All right. AC3 is Revolutionary War, not Civil. Oh, right. You're right. 1776. Civil War. No, sorry. Wrong one. My bad. Apologies. Sorry to the history buffs. And as many people have pointed out, I don't know if, well, first off, let's watch the Asmongold take on this, because I know it's going to be bad. And I need, it's like heroin for me. I've never had heroin, but I assume this is what it's like, where you just can't help but get another hit, even though you're going to regret it later. So let's go.
All right, so I've had a lot of people talk about this, and like people have been posting about it a lot. Yeah, this is here's one right here. Well, I'll watch the trailer first, and I'll create my own opinion.
Oh my god, I just watched the trailer.
I'm living my life.
Let's
Boys, that's not what
react
they
harder,
do.
goddammit.
That doesn't really matter. This is pretty cool. It's basically okay, so there it is, and that's the game right there, woke game. And so basically a lot of people are mad because apparently this black guy, like this is Yasuke. I don't look.
Yasuke. This here Yasuke. You ain't hear about that guy.
I don't know a lot about Japanese, like, when was this? This was like the 1800s, right? I'm pretty sure like early 1800s, somewhere around there. I don't really say, was it 1600s? Okay, yeah, I don't remember exactly, because I remember like the Nobunaga, who was like the guy who this guy served. The reason why, like, one big thing with him is he used like guns and like his armies, and that's like where they showed it, but he used it with like bow and arrows too. And so like there's like an element of this that's like attached to realism and like to something that actually happened. He wasn't a samurai. Yeah, like I'll tell you this, right, is I've read things about this, I've heard things about this, I watched like a documentary about like this time period even. This guy was never even mentioned. Like, it never even got mentioned once, right? Like, I had no idea this guy even existed until, what do you call it? And until this game got announced, right? He was just a retainer. Well, like, he was a slave. I don't necessarily know that. Literally no one in Assassin's Creed is real. So you have Yasuke, but there's not a single mention of Nobunaga Oda. Seems weird or off. I think that there clearly is, right? I mean, like, I would say like this kind of indicates, I mean, I bet that's him. Like if I had to say, I bet that's probably him. Now I could be wrong, but if I had to guess, that's it. Let me see what this says.
So we got our first look at the new Assassin's Creed game, and I gotta say, man, I'm not impressed. I'm actually just really annoyed right now. We have two main protagonists, one female, one male, just like Odyssey. We're gonna be using Neo. I hope I said that right. A female Japanese character. Yeah. And for the male character, they're gonna be using Yasuke. Now, I'm annoyed because they're using Yasuke, and I'm gonna tell you why. Yasuke is what they want to say is the first black Japanese samurai, when in all actuality, he was not even a samurai. He was a retainer, so he wasn't even a full-blown samurai. And for all of the characters they could have used for Japan, all these kind of different people they could have picked from, they picked Yasuke. Why do they pick Yasuke? Because he's black. Obviously. So in context, that does.
I love how there's like a billion Assassin's Creed game, and one of them has the audacity to have a black main character, and they're like, they did this because he's black. And it's like, what the?
Doesn't matter to me, because in all the Assassin's Creed games, every single character has been of some kind of different race and nationality, so that doesn't matter to me. That's fine, but you have to understand.
So the thing that I don't understand, okay, that people keep bringing up the retainer thing, but like you don't lose your status as whatever that other thing is because you're a retainer. Like it's not like your lawyer stops being a lawyer if you have him on retainer. Do you understand? He didn't stop being like, both can be true. Like, that's not, I don't understand why people keep making that point.
And what day and age we're in. You have to understand the kind of social shit that they want to try to get across in these video games now. So instead of using a Japanese man in a game based in Japan, like they did with the other Assassin's Creed games, Altair, he was an Arab, obviously. One of my favorites, Connor, in Assassin's Creed 3, he was Native American. That was fine. And the most famous of them all, Ezio Auditore, who was Italian. So why in all those games would you have a character representative of the region they're from? But in this game, you want to demote a Japanese man and then use Yasuke. I understand why. We know why. But they're not going to tell you why. Because if you call it out, you're some kind of ist or phobe or whatever. And since I'm black and I'm calling it out, that means that I must hate my skin or something. You know how they do. I just see this and my immediate thought
No, girly pop. We just think that you need them to pick you, and I hope they do.
is they did this for brownie points. I can't think.
Yeah, I think that's the way a lot of people feel about it. It's the same with having like a girl as an assassin. Like what the like, bro? Like yeah.
A girl assassinating people. What? It's never happened before. Ever. In the history, there has never been a woman that has assassinated another person ever, except for all of the women who killed their husbands. Oh, except for all of those. I like how you can like vault in Assassin's Creed and like land with no injuries, but like a woman killing someone is just too far. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. I was on board with the time travel. I was on board with people jumping off of roofs and surviving. A woman? No. It's never happened before. What does that mean? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, you had a little bit of that, but like, what are we doing here? Like, we gonna really talk about this is what feudal Japan was like? It's a story about a black guy and a girl. Like, that's just probably not the way it was. And it's like, it doesn't really matter, right? It's like, you know, for example, because I was thinking about this, is like The Last Samurai. Because like
There's literally as aliens in Assassin's Creed, by the way. There's one where the Da Vinci helps the assassins.
Cruise, The Last Samurai. Like, why did people like? Because I don't know, like, how much different really is that versus this? It's hard really to say, because I was typing out too. That's a fair point. There are better choices. Yeah, and it's just like, here's the problem with like something like this. This is where I come from with this. Very different era though. Yeah, that's true. Is that whenever I see like a game that comes out and it has, you know, this is feudal Japan and like the main character is a black guy and a girl, I immediately like there's like no escapism that this can provide, because the
How am I supposed to enjoy this? There's a woman in my video game. Are you crazy? How am I supposed to escape my real world? Unbelievable. I go to work. You can't sexually assault women. You can't call black people racial slurs. And now they're in my video games. My immersion. Unbelievable. I feel like women and black people have enjoyed video games and the escapism that video games provide, despite the fact that protagonists have been white dudes for like 2 decades. I think you'll be okay, Asmongold. I think you and everyone else are going to be okay. It's just fiction. It can't hurt you.
the entire story is built on the foundation of trying to appeal to a quote modern audience. Like, that's the way that I see it. Is like, whenever I look at something like this, I don't view this as like an authentic like piece of fiction. I don't view it as a, you know, like, you know, it's not historical.
There were female warriors named Onamusha that fought alongside samurai. This is fake. This is fake news. Fake news. Term referring to female warriors in pre-modern Japan. These women fought in battle alongside samurai men. Wrong. Fake. This is all woke media. The Genpei War, 1180 to 1150, marks the war between Taira and Minamoto clans, between 2 very prominent Japanese clans. Among those was Tomoe, Gozen's servant. She assisted Yoshinaka in defending himself against the forces. This is wrong. This is fake. This is fake news. This is fake news, okay? Don't believe everything you see on the internet, okay, guys? All right? It's not real. Don't forget, female assassins, kunoichi, is a Japanese cant term for woman in popular culture, often used for female shinobi. Wrong. Unbelievable. You can't even trust Wikipedia anymore.
It's just like kind of fan fiction in a way. And so not appeal to, but influence. Well, either way, right? Whatever you want to call it. I don't want to argue like what the word you want to use is, but just overall, like if I was a Japanese person, I would probably be kind of annoyed by this.
If I was this thing I am not, I would be mad. Meanwhile, I haven't seen a single person from Japan. I haven't seen a single Japanese person say, I'm upset about this. Motherfucker thinks he's the Lorax for like for Japanese people. Like, what the Afro Samurai trailer 17 years ago? Isn't this anime like pretty well liked across the board? Like, even among Japanese people? Like, I know Americans really like it. Oh my god, the soundtrack goes crazy. It's crazy that they got Samuel Jackson on this. That goes kind of hard. That does go hard, though. That does go hard. Anyways, yeah. It's almost like Japanese people don't care that American video games have black protagonists and they never have cared. They're too busy working 16-hour workdays, like, to give a shit what we're doing in our free time, guys. Come on, be serious.
I'm not, so like I don't really like. I mean, I don't like what the fuck does my opinion matter, right? But the truth is that that's the way I see it. Whenever I see a game that gets released and it has something like this, I just immediately don't take it seriously because it's just that I think I just assume it's fake. Like it's just some bullshit, fake bullshit.
What does he mean by it's fake? What does that mean?
I mean, you should care about appeal and influence because the idea is to indeed influence. Yeah, but everybody also has the right to influence people how they choose because everybody has the right to expression, even if you disagree with them, just like we do whenever we're talking about it right now. All art is bullshit and fake. Yeah, you're right. It is all bullshit and fake, but there's something that's like a willing suspension of disbelief. And I think that really, I don't really get that with this game because it's just... So
is he actually saying I can't suspend my disbelief because there's a black person in my game? He's trolling. This video is going to end with him. He would not say something this stupid. He's going to end the video saying, I was just kidding with you guys. I would never say something that dumb. Right, guys? Right? Right? See, this is why you don't play MMOs, guys, because it will melt your brain, and that is a promise. Okay? Pogo Blues, thank you for the 13 months.
In your face, and it just seems like it's like there's no way this was done without like this was done very clearly because of like the race and gender of the characters. Like that's why it's like this. It's forced, yeah. And like I see that, and it's just like, okay, this is just we gotta take it that seriously, you know? Breaks immersion, it's too blatant, yeah.
Of any other reason why you would
my immersion is broken. There's melanin in my game.
Have a Assassin's Creed game.
By the way, if this is important, somebody mentioned this in chat. The game's good, it doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Like people still play the game if it's good. Like if the game's genuinely good, has great gameplay, people still play it. Doesn't matter.
In Japan, which we've been clamoring for since the beginning of Assassin's Creed.
You would assume that,
and then have the main protagonist that is a male be black. I see that and I'm like, there's no other reason than I want claps for it. There's no other reason. And I'm an Assassin's Creed.
Maybe because it's an interesting story. The one very prominent black samurai in a country that doesn't really have a lot of black people in it. I think that that's a pretty cool, interesting story. Actually, I think the exceptions in the universe, the things that have happened in the real world that are rare, are interesting interesting stories. Excuse me. It's telling that they totally ignore the Japanese woman main character. Well, she's a woman and women can't fight. Okay. So that one's also woke. Everybody knows women have never done any fighting ever or killed anyone ever. It's true. Yes. Yeah. Dear girl, thank you for this 17 months.
Fan. I've played every game. I love every game. And one of my favorite characters is actually Cassandra from Odyssey. So nobody can sit here and say, I don't like women or I don't like diverse people or whatever, when one of my favorite characters is diverse. Hell, Connor, Kenway, and hate them.
It's not about hating women or like think.
Guys, I don't hate white men. Okay? I know of at least one of them that's good. Okay? Mentions one game, mentions one female character. That doesn't make any sense. You can't just list off one example of something you like and pretend like everything else you've said isn't total bullshit.
Thinking the diversity is bad. It's that whenever you try to tell a story, like it's just like with like, especially, and this is the case with like, I would say like more realistic fantasy. There's not a real situation where like a woman is going to be able to like beat 3 guys.
I just need 1 second. Okay? Just 1 second. Oh. I just need a second. I just need a second to breathe. Okay. Okay. This is where he says I'm joking. Okay, let's press play so he can tell us that he was joking.
As an assassin. It's just not real. Everybody knows it's not real. And so it just seems silly. And like it makes sense in games like WoW, because you have like magic or like, you know, she's an archer or something like that. For sure.
The magic is so realistic.
But like if you're talking about actually like physical hand-to-hand like prowess in combat, there's no way. 22 women settings. Yeah, come on. Like what are we talking about here?
Okay, really quickly. I just need you all to know something. Quickly. Okay. I don't mean to alarm you guys, right? Okay. But history shows us that women have indeed murdered men. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. There's this one very famous MMA fight. I'm struggling to find it, but there's this one very famous MMA fight of this like female fighter that beats the shit out of this dude. Like just totally beats the shit out of him. Like both cis taken ages ago. Here's I think this is probably a good video. One sec. How is that video playing sound? I muted the tab. What the? This is I think a good example of what I'm trying to talk about. One sec. Okay, this is a good video. The thing is, realistically speaking, I assume most of us don't leave our houses, our heists. That's plural for house. And we also don't train. I'm going to make that assumption. I'm a gamer. If you guys aren't gamers, what the fuck are you doing here? Okay. And I'm going to tell you for a fact, and you don't have to take my word for it. Go find out, go fuck around and find out yourself. If you are an untrained fighter, you will get your shit kicked in if someone is even just a little bit more trained than you. Like, at a certain level of like training, you outperform. That it's like, think about it in like video game terms. If you have better macros, even if you can't aim for shit, if you're capable of corralling your team and 5v1ing everyone on the enemy team, you just win. You don't have any actual like skill, like you can't actually do the aiming part, but because you understand the game, you win. And a lot of fighting and a lot of self-defense stuff talks about using your opponent's like weight and power against them, because that's a big part of it. I train MMA. If you're untrained, a woman with even moderate experience above 120 pounds could whip your ass. Yeah, this is an okay video that shows what I'm trying to talk about. But like, this is some random trained lady against some random untrained dude. She understands the assignment. If you have better technique, like, look, there's not going to be as much power behind her punches than there is than there's going to be with his punches. Obviously, he's going to hit harder, but it doesn't matter if you hit harder if you can't land a fucking hit. It doesn't matter, right? Which he's struggling to hit. And that's because he doesn't know what he's doing. It's just also another major thing. If you're untrained, you really cannot take a punch. You're just going to quit. I mean, part of, I only know this because of Sabrina, when she did boxing, when she did Creator Clash, a big part of training is just getting hit and learning how to take hits. Learning how to tank? Yeah. Yes. Got to be able to tank. My sister was the first person to knock me out in the ring, and I have 100 pounds on her. She's a better fighter than I ever was. Yeah, and like, can I beat someone's ass? Hell no, I can't beat someone's ass. I don't leave my fucking computer. I couldn't beat someone's ass if they were fucking blind, okay? I do not have that smoke in me, all right? But you really, you just need you just need to do a little bit of practice and a little bit of skill, and you're ahead of the curve by a lot. Denim beats blind people confirmed. No. I fail to beat blind people confirmed. Do I have a YouTube VOD channel? I used to, but I haven't had one in a long time. I also hate that these stupid fucks only become historians when black people are involved in games like this. It's so annoying. Yeah, that's also an annoying part. But anyways, point being, let's just wrap up on this section really quickly. Point being, it's ridiculous to say that it's unrealistic that a woman could ever beat any men in fighting ever. That's never happened before in the history of ever. Like, technique and practice will go a long way. They just will. It doesn't matter if you have all the strength in the world if you don't know how to use it. Like, it doesn't matter how high your IQ is. If you don't know shit about chess, you're not going to win those games. You're just not. Someone with just like a year of like practicing on you, they're going to beat your ass every time until you start practicing. That's not what Asmongold's saying. Well, yeah, he's saying something much stupider, which is that it's breaking his immersion that a woman is beating 3 men by herself. Meanwhile, you know how unrealistic it is for you as a male to beat 3 other men in a 1v3 or a 1v4? Like, come on. Oh, come on.
Wait, those are some of my favorite characters from Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
So before the idiots want to start, that's not the reason. The reason is I see straight through this bullshit. And I know exactly why they picked this character. It's annoying. That's like if Ghost of Tsushima, instead of using Jin, they use a white dude. People would be like, that doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
This doesn't make any sense to me. It's
So where was this energy for this game? You know what? I have another question, actually. You know what? I got another question, actually. Where was this energy for this entire movie series?
Girl in the schoolgirl uniform.
Let's get the fight scene.
It's really breaking my immersion. It's really breaking my immersion right now. I can't believe that she's winning this fight. I mean, really, she's really winning this fight. What about my escapism?
It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. You've never cared about this issue before. Stop pretending like you care about this. Stop. Please stop. You don't care about this. Okay? Have you seen Atomic Blonde, the stairwell fight scene? I have not. I have not. But I saw that. You know what's a good fight scene? It came out from a movie recently that apparently was bad, but the action scene was good. It was making its round on Twitter. There's a bunch of grease on the floor, and there's this like female protagonist that's wearing like, I think she's wearing like ice skates or rollerblades or something and going around. Is that Atomic Blonde? Is that the one, or is it a different one? I thought Atomic Blonde was that one like James Bond one. No, it's not. It's not John Wick. Argyle? Maybe? Argyle action scene? I spelled Argyle wrong. Yes. This is a sick action scene. I actually watched this like 4 times because I was so impressed. I feel like finally Hollywood understands that we don't want to see action scenes that look like they were recorded by someone with Parkinson's. And here's the thing, okay? I want to be able to see what I'm seeing. I don't want to see this the entire movie. I know you people have stands. Stop making the guy with Parkinson's hold the camera. Just give him the stand for it. Stop it. Stop. Stop. I can't tell what's happening on the screen. This scene is so sick. This scene makes me want to go watch the movie. This is what we need in action movies. The soundtrack is kind of dog shit, low key, but if you're doing an action movie, don't take yourself so seriously. I'm so tired of unserious or serious action movies. It's boring. But see, that's realistic because women can ice skate naturally and men can't. Oh, shit, you're right. Figure skaters are women, not men. Right. Oh, what a beautiful shot. Only thing that could have made this more cool is if it was this dude doing all of these action scenes, also wearing a dress, so you could see his grandfather clock swinging while he was doing it. That's the only thing that could have made the scene better. But I'll take this. This is also good. That's acceptable, to be honest. Yeah. More realistically, guys, the shit that happens let me wrap this point up, okay? The shit that happens in Assassin's Creed games is unrealistic for men and women. The shit that the male characters are doing in Assassin's Creed games is not humanly possible. Why do we care that it's not humanly possible, but only when women are doing it? It's not humanly possible when the men are doing it either. It's never been possible, okay? Please, come on.
Stupid. I know exactly why you're doing it. I see straight through it. It's annoying. It's pandering. It doesn't do anything.
Denims, I jump from 8-story buildings into hay all the time. Okay? Yeah. Everybody knows men can do a 20-story dive into a cart full of hay and survive, but women can't. It's true. Yes.
Anything for me but piss me off.
People say Lara Croft. Yeah. A lot of people that use like examples of other characters, like they have things like Lara Croft is shooting people with a gun. Do you see kind of like what the difference is? So like that's the way it makes sense. But like I'm saying in like physical combat, there's not a realistic situation where, you know, any guy who's like even partially trained at all to be like a fighter is going to lose to some girl. Like, it's just probably not going to happen. Like, let's be honest here. And so whenever I see this happen.
Okay, more realistically, if you don't mind me being political for a second, this has like this mentality and this opinion about things. This is very, do you guys remember when we were all in like elementary school or middle school and then everyone's like, the blood, your veins are blue because the blood hasn't been oxygenated yet. It's the same sort of thing where it's like, everyone knows a woman could never beat a man in a fight ever. It's like, dude, we're not in like second grade anymore. Okay? We're not in second grade anymore. Please, can we? Please. We're being a bit childish right now. We're being a little bit ridiculous right now. Please.
But in games and it's done this way, it just seems like bullshit to me. I think obviously this character and the game exists as a way to spread some sort of, you know, like diversity message.
My blood is blue because I'm royalty. Yeah, well, my blood is blue because I'm Homestuck royalty. We are not the same. Okay? That's right. Yes. Vriska is my horoscope. What about it, bitch?
Something like that. I can see why Assassin's
if you
Creed
didn't
fans
understand
would
that,
be
good.
annoyed by it. It does seem kind of patronizing in a way, especially whenever the character like the Yasuke is like, there's so much contention, right? Even if like you think that he's like a samurai or whatever, there's a tremendous amount of contention about whether it's true or not. People saying El-Take live in La La Land. Well, it's just, yeah, that's, I mean, look, it's just biology, right? I mean, I'm not.
It's just biology that men can jump into piles of hay from 20-story buildings and women can't. That's just basic biology, guys. Come on. Come on.
Look, I didn't go complain to God. Like, I didn't make it this way. I'm not, look, I'm not fighting. I'm not trying to say this is the way it should be. Like, this is just the way it is. I mean, I don't know what to say.
It's so
anyway,
cute.
most heroic thing.
Oh, it's so adorable. Okay, what I'm about to say might be a little bit too difficult to understand, so I need all of you guys to put on your thinking caps. Put them on. So, there is such a thing as bias, okay? And there is such a thing as unknown biases within yourself. Things that you are biased against or biased towards, and you have no idea that you are. This is a big reason for a lot of the literature that we have nowadays and like the studies that we have nowadays that show that, for example, one example, when men and women speak the same amount of time and the same amount of words, and you show this conversation to bystanders, women are perceived as having spoken more. Pretty much across the board. Women think women spoke more, and men think women spoke more. Even though they spoke the same amount, the same number of words, controlled for everything. Sorry, I wasn't listening. That's fair. I was talking too much. To be fair, you do talk a lot. Yeah. No, I do talk a lot. That's true. Speaking Japanese. Stop. That study mostly just proves that your perception of the world is going to be incorrect because you are biased in ways you have no idea you're biased about. Unconscious bias, be a motherfucker? Exactly. Yes. In that same vein, there's a lot of other things and perceptions that you hold to be true that are not true, but you think this because it benefits your worldview. So, for example, learning, right? Seemingly all of the literature that we have suggests that it's never too late to learn anything. And the only reason people struggle to become good at something after they hit adulthood is because you just don't have as much free time as an adult. So we've never seen a chess grandmaster that's become a chess grandmaster as an adult when they start as an adult. And that's because as a kid, you have so much time to get into chess and hyperfixate. As an adult, you don't really have enough time in the day. You have work and you have responsibilities and you have family and then you have hobbies and all this other stuff. And now we have Tyler 1. And that's because all he does, because his job happens to be streaming, all he's been doing is playing chess. And he's at what, 1900 right now? He might be higher. I'm not sure. So we might see the first ever grandmaster in chess. We might, depending on how far Tyler 1 takes it. We might see the first ever grandmaster that's become one as an adult. And also not as much work ethic, honestly. Well, it's not about work ethic, 3 Bigs. It's about like hyperfixations as a kid. You're kind of like rewarded for being very interested in cool things as a kid, and you're not really rewarded as an adult, right? Who's gonna, like as a kid, if you have even half decent parents, they'll see that you're interested in chess and they'll try and get you further into it and they'll get you into like competitions with other kids and all this other stuff, right? Tyler's impressive, but he's never going for his over-the-board norms. I don't know what that means because I'm not a nerd, so please inform me. And also, we need people like you to keep saying that so he does it out of spite to prove you wrong. So you're doing a great job. Keep going. I need him to do this, okay? I really need him to do this. It would make me so happy to see that. Even the study that shows that people love to quote like, oh, your brain doesn't stop maturing and growing until you're 25. You know, the study wasn't done on any subject over the age of 25. It just showed that up until at least the age of 25, your brain continues to grow. Not like physically, but like, you know, you understand what I'm talking about. Theoretically, because we don't have the research to suggest otherwise, you can continue to learn and grow and become bigger brain after 25. There's no hard stop at 25. But the thing is, narratives like that are very convenient because it's easy to be like, well, I've missed my opportunity. I can give up now. Rather than, fuck, I have to put in the time and effort to get better at this thing. Voice training is another amazing one that we've seen great strides in, like the medical technology because of trans people. Huge shout out to trans people. Love you. voices. We used to think that voices were pretty set in stone, and now all of our research seems to suggest, actually, no, you can kind of just change your voice to whatever you want it to be. It's not going to be an easy thing to do. It's a lot of practice and a lot of effort and a lot of work. And you have to like dedicate yourself to it. But yeah, you can have whatever voice you want to have, and you can eventually get to the point where you're more comfortable with your new voice than you are with your old voice. As long as you're willing to put in the work. Another great example, adults learning languages. Adults are actually better at learning languages because we have the tools available to us to learn these languages. We have better, like as an adult, you learn how to learn better and more effectively. The one exception to the rule is phonetics. So making certain noises, like rolling your R's, that's something that's very easy to learn as a kid when you're still very, 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 a lot of neuroplasticity and you're still learning how to speak. As an adult, it's very hard to learn new phonetics. Not impossible, it's just hard. It's harder to do than as a kid. But as an adult, it's much easier to do, it's much easier to learn a language, actually. I'm learning rolling R's recently. Yeah, again, you can do it. It just takes a little bit more effort and time. So don't be hard on yourself if you're struggling with pronunciation. I learned that children acquire new language rules a lot quicker in the same situation as an adult. They would learn better. No, actually, it's actually the case that kids are worse at learning language rules, and that's why dumb kids make stupid mistakes when it comes to like conjugation. I can try and find the article that talks about this, but I want to get more like to the point. That is to say that there's a lot of things that are convenient realities that we like to cling to because they make us feel better. And this is definitely one of them. Now, is it true that on average, women are smaller and weaker than men? Yes, of course. We're not going to disagree with anything. No. That's just reality. On average, if you took the average woman, you took the average man, she would be weaker and smaller than he is. Okay? Great, we're on the same page here. However, ignoring the fact that skill and training and practice exist is just a pathetic attempt at a convenient narrative. It's very convenient. It feels very good to be like, oh, well, yeah, naturally, I am just better than women at this thing. Because it's a convenient reality. Even if some of it is based in real science or whatever, it feels good to be like, yeah, if I had a little bit of training, I could kick any woman's ass. It feels good. And you have to recognize that there's a lot of unconscious biases in there that allow you to continue to hold such silly positions. When in reality, you're going to need a little bit more training. And, like, realistically speaking, a lot of it comes down to skill. I mean, how many, even between men, here's a question, even between men, there have to be people in here who watch boxing matches or other MMA fights. How many instances has it been that male fighters have beat other male fighters that in matches they should have lost, but they had more skill and more stamina? Strength is not enough. It's just not enough. Strength is one part of the equation. All the other things matter too. Important to note. To be fair, there are also a lot of things that can think they can take on a bear. The people that are like, yeah, I could wrestle a lion. It's like, the lion will definitely wrestle your ass. Anyways, moving on. Let's finish this video.
About the Stray Wars, they left the comments open. That's true. Always remember the best part of the Ubisoft game.
Wait, sorry, really quickly. Also, circle back to the samurai stuff. Put a woman and a man in a fight, and then add weapons to the mix, and the most physical advantages become moot. Yeah, I mean, it's actually a big part of the equation, though. Skill is more important. It's significantly more important. Skill and like expertise with weapons are pretty important. if you have a lot of expertise with like throwing knives, it doesn't matter how strong the other person is. You just have to land your throwing knives. Like, it's not like she's like, you know, she's not squaring up like, come on, let's go, let's box. She's literally an assassin. What does, like, and here's the thing, even his chat, by the way,
The thing about this trailer is they
brings
left the
this point
comments
up.
open. That's true. Always remember the best part of the Ubisoft game is usually the trailers. Piracy isn't stealing if buying is not owning it.
Where is it? It was just here. Let me pause this. Look at this. It's a black samurai. It's just a cool concept. Some people read too much into it. There was, who cares? It's fiction. It's an alternative reality. But there was another one that I read that was really good. But it was basically someone saying the physical advantages don't matter when one of them is literally an assassin meant to hide in the dark and kill you. But I guess it's, oh, here we go. Biology has nothing to do with it when you're killing your targets in stealth mode. Read up on the kunoichi. It's just silly. It's silly to be like, biology shows that I could beat a woman. No, that doesn't apply here, sir. That doesn't apply here. The strength disparity is real, but it's not as much of a disadvantage in armed fighting as it is in unarmed fighting. Anyone can encounter a significantly stronger opponent, male fighters included. There's a wide range of height and physical fitness in men as well, so everyone has to learn how to deal with superior strength at some point. It's even mentioned in historical manuals. Yes. Correct. Accurate. Exactly. When you put weapons into the mix, and you include training, and you include skill, and you include assassinating people in stealth mode, the whole like biological advantage is ruining my immersion thing kind of goes out the window. It's kind of ridiculous, honestly. Men deal with strength and size disparity in combat all the time? Yes.
It's true. Always remember the best part of the Ubisoft game is usually the trailers. Piracy isn't stealing if buying is not owning it. It has nothing to do with it. After seeing this trailer, I'm excited to play Ghost of Tsushima. In the eyes of Ubisoft execs, this is a $70 plus rental.
Sorry, last point on this, and then I'm moving on. Can you imagine reading David and Goliath and being like, this isn't realistic. This other guy has a huge advantage on him. It's ruining my immersion. Like, oh, come on, man. Yeah. That one guy just has a slingshot. This can't be real. Ruining my immersion. It's just silly. It's just silly. We don't hold this standard anywhere else. Stop it. Okay? Can we please stop it? This is so ridiculous. And you know you're being ridiculous. Stop being ridiculous.
So remember, never pre-order. It's impossible for me to play a samurai game after Ghost of... Dude, every single one of these comments are bad. Oh my god. Asking for pre-orders without gameplay is wild. Where's the pre-order thing? Available November. What is this? Oh my god. They're doing it again.
$130 Ultimate Edition. Incredible.
Who cares about the main character? The game's $130. This is insane.
Well, technically the base game is $70. Okay. All right. Can we just be honest though for a second? Can we just be honest? Like Overwatch when it came out wasn't like the Ultimate Edition 120 as well. You didn't need 120 to buy the game though. But that's neither here nor there. I just think being able to pre-order games should be illegal. They're like, maybe this is a little extreme, but yeah, you shouldn't be able to pre-order games. You just shouldn't be able to. I don't think it should be like allowed. Why not? It ruins like games, in my opinion. It ruins games really bad. Really bad. Wow, what a beautiful sentence. Excellent commentary there. when the companies receive all of that income, they're just way more likely, or that revenue rather, they're just way more likely to rush the game and finish it to send it out. Because they've already basically gotten all the revenue they needed. It gives them budget though. These are companies that have, these are is Ubisoft a multi-million or multi-billion dollar company? They have the cash flow to pay their workers. It's not a concern. They don't need the extra money from the pre-ordering. They do it because it works. That's it. And because it increases revenue. That's it. You can pre-order so many other things. What's the justification? Yeah. Like, I think, to be clear, I think you should only be allowed to pre-order a game if you're allowed to play an open beta or open, like, alpha or whatever. I don't think you should be, like, paying to pre-order games that you don't even get to try until, like, or even a demo. Exactly my point. Early access is fine for me. I think we're struggling to get people to stop pre-ordering games, and pre-ordering games is making the crunch problem and like the dog shit video games problem so much worse. And if we can't get people to stop buying the pre-ordering, or stop pre-ordering the games, we should just not be allowed to be pre-ordering a game that you can't even play. Pre-ordering only made sense when you had physical copies and it was an actual, and supply was an actual concern. Ding, 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 ding. Correct. Absolutely correct. When there was a limited supply of physical copies, yeah, you want to pre-order to make sure you get one of the copies of the game that comes out. Now, there's literally there's no benefit for you to pre-order a game. None. It's just so that they can make more money right now and care less later.
Are you kidding me? It's $130 for the game. And you get 3, oh my God. So the base game, guys, this is the base game. It's $70. You don't take into account weapon mastery. Women can easily win if they're better with a sword or a dagger.
Thank you, Kinty.
I implore you.
This is so funny because even his chat is disagreeing with him and he's insisting on dying on this hill.
Please, please, please. Learn your biology, man.
Guy who knows nothing about biology. Learn your biology.
Learn your biology. I get what you're saying, but let's be honest. Let's be real. Come on, stop it. Just stop it. Anyway, the standard edition is $70. The gold edition is $110. Oh my God. Somebody's using the example of Joan of Arc. How many times are you going to type that? You're so dumb. What are you doing?
I think these takes may be coming from deeply rooted sexism. Not sure, though. I need to put my thinking cap on. Well, I'm not even going to make the claim that it's like deeply rooted sexism. I'm going to make the claim that like this is a convenient narrative, this is a convenient narrative to believe in. And that's why people believe in it. Bro showing he never did any martial arts in judo. A lot of girls demolished my ass every time. Yes. Well, again, there's a lot of skill. Like, so for example, let's ask Asmongold a question here. Why do self-defense classes exist for women? If they're going to lose every time, why do they exist? Oh, it's almost like you can use your opponent's weight and strength against them. And someone can be a lot stronger than you and you can get them off you if you have proper technique. Crazy concept. I know. Crazy. Also, Asmongold is forgetting one very important thing, which is the fact that the male body is poorly designed. Biology made a couple mistakes along the way, and they put the balls on the outside. Very, I don't know why they would put, you know, in like Resident Evil where like the what are they even called? I don't even remember. The mutant looking creatures. The T-virus creatures that are like, they have like boils on them or whatever, and like the glowing boils are the weak spots. And you're supposed to shoot the glowing boils. The glowing weak spots, you know. That's like men with balls. It's like critical damage right here. It's glowing pustule orb. Like, it's easy. Like, why did they? So, Asmongold forgot about that one very important thing. Very, very, very important thing. Fatal flaw. Fatal design flaw, by the way. Yeah.
What do you, that's like a terrible.
Sorry, really quickly. Wait 1 second. Wow, still molding over Asmongold. Ha ha ha. Rent free in your mind. Sir, this is my job. I make money doing this. Okay, I pay my bills doing this. All right? I get gifts from my friends by doing this. You're doing this for free. Now that is jobless behavior. You came in here voluntarily to type that and then be humiliated by 1,500 people. Bricks and glass houses and all of that, all right?
Terrible example.
Dang, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs.
That's an awful fucking example.
He unfollowed and left.
Joan of Arc was a leader, not a warrior. Yeah, she was a religious zealot. She thought God was talking to her. They burned her alive. Yeah, this is not a warrior. What, because she found the sword? After she helped them? Yeah, sure. I mean, I know they're assholes for doing that. But, like, all I'm saying is, like, that's just not what it was. In this situation, you're the one in the wrong. It has nothing to do with biology, slit someone's throat. It does. Like, I understand that. The
chatters that he's fighting are totally right. I can't believe he is not recognizing that he's losing this. NX Live, thank you for the 4 months. If an assassin walks up to you sneakily and then slits your throat when you don't notice, what does that have to do with strength? Where's the biological advantage there? Like, what's going on here, man? Why are you dying on this hill? This is so insane. This is crazy, man.
Oh, God. I would just implore you, please look into biology and how people are going to react to things. Me, when someone tells me a woman can sneak behind you and slit your throat. Please look into biology. Please. Just come on. Like, it's just the culture and the time back then.
Please look into the culture and the time back then. There was not a lot of slitting people's throats ever, okay? That was invented in 1800s, okay? Please.
It's just completely unrealistic. It's completely unrealistic. I'm sorry. And I think that how many of you guys, how many normal, rational people do we have in here that see how...
Is Asmongold trying to tell his viewers that men have natural throat goats? Or sorry, are natural throat goats? Maybe you're onto something. Wait.
Obviously fucking unrealistic and ridiculous this is.
Me talking about a game that has aliens. Me talking about a game that has time travel. Me talking about a game where Da Vinci helped the assassins kill people. Okay. This is just unrealistic, this woman.
I mean, everybody, it's outrageous. What are you even talking about? What are we even talking about? It's not even close. It's fucking dumb. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys, but anybody arguing this is just fucking delusional. I don't even know. Why don't we...
Wait, I have to do this. Look, even his chat, Asmongold, you can't beat someone with a knife if you're unarmed. Lol.
We still talking about this?
Why are we still talking about this
here.
topic that I brought up on stream?
$130 for the game. This is exactly what they did with Star Wars. They're doing it again. Everybody's mad about the character. Maybe this is their strategy. You know what? Maybe this is the new Ubisoft strategy. Add in a main character for a game that's
I guess we shouldn't have characters like Chun-Li. Me looking at a fighting game. The women can beat the men in this game? What are you talking about?
really controversial.
Unrealistic.
And that way it'll distract people from the fact that you're trying to get people to spend $130 for the fucking game. This is insane. Oh my God.
And I hate to be the person. Now, this shouldn't be the norm, to be very clear. But yeah, I totally agree with you, Mario Link. The pricing is not even out of the ordinary. What is this selective outrage? This literally isn't. This guy is aware that women are assassins in feudal Japan. That women were assassins in feudal Japan. Well, you don't need to be a man to be an assassin. Now, I'm going to be honest. In my brain, this is my non-serious segment. So everybody, put on your non-serious hats. Put on your clown hats. Put on your dunce hats for a second. In my world, assassins do a lot of climbing up walls. Okay? And when I went rock climbing, specifically bouldering, I found out that apparently women have an advantage. And that's because of the body weight to strength and like grip strength ratio. Basically, men have more muscle that they have to carry. And so climbing is hard because you have to bring all your weight with you every time. Whereas like you can have really good grip strength as a woman and climb really well and be very light. Now, I have a giant dumper, so I was struggling really hard. It was really difficult, actually. I do not have the grip strength to carry this around, okay? I was not built with rock climbing in mind, okay? I did try, though, okay? All right, A for effort. I did the easiest climb. I'm proud of myself for that. So theoretically, wouldn't female assassins be really good at assassinating work? Because they would be good climbers. Okay, unserious segment over. Okay, great, moving on.
I don't even know what to say. Well, it's just like the 3-day, why do you have 3-day early access, a season? Wait, there's a season pass?
Why is he talking about season pass like it's never existed in any other game ever before? A season pass? What?
Are you kidding me?
Okay, this video has to be just like, there's no way he thinks this. This is too silly. This is dumb. Like, even for him, this is really dumb. Getting mad about this? No, I don't believe it. He has to be doing that for views. That one's hammed up for views. Oh, gosh. All right. Feels too forced. Yeah, it just feels a little forced, even for him. I think he started it and then he realized that he was losing and then he was like, okay, well, I'm done. This is 33 minutes. Yeah, I'm not watching all of this. It's just he keeps the battle pass on the screen, which makes me think he's going to keep talking about the battle pass or whatever. And I don't know. Yeah. I like this one. Starfield was woke, but it was a masterpiece. Woke in these people's brain really just means like there was a woman in my game. Or like there was a black person in my game. It's crazy. It's really insane to me. As a white man, I've never felt more under attack than this week. I'm sorry that everyone is using the word saltine against you in such a terrible way. I'm sorry. I apologize. Thank you for the 14 months. All right. I also, by the way, this is cool. It's this Reddit post from 3 years ago. A statue of Yasuke, an African slave, which, by the way, we don't actually know if he was a slave. The Britannica article that I was reading on Yasuke seemed to suggest that the information we have on him is pretty limited. Which here you can say it's not known, however, whether Yasuke was enslaved or freed at the time. Then it just talks about him, blah, 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 blah. Not important shit. But anyways, who arrived in Japan in 1579 and became the first black samurai. For those interested, here's a really interesting comment from r Ask Historians that does a great job of showing what we have actual sources saying about him. I did, Rob. I thought it was very funny. I'm going to send I'm going to send Sean a message and say, I see you also put out a hit, huh? Anyways, these comments on Reddit are totally accurate, by the way. Fascinating as fuck. This guy was the main character. We're all just the epilogue to his story. His story was incredible, definitely worth digging into. Netflix has an anime about him. It's called Yasuke. I don't know how accurate it is, but I can definitely say that it was worth the watch. Basically, the point is just like, oh, that is kind of a cool story. This black guy that showed up in Japan and was like, what if I became a samurai? Wouldn't that be crazy?
He didn't decide that, okay? He happened to be in Nobunaga's presence, and then Nobunaga decided that he was allowed to be...
Yeah. Okay, loser. Can you believe this guy is such a main character? This guy is the reason they did this story is not because of wokeism. The reason they did this story is because it's a cool fucking story. That's the only reason they did it. That's it. Slaves equals Europeans, ethnicity terms reversed now. Well played, Satan. What does this mean? I'm so confused. Brief off topic, Cutie and 39 Daphne have a bot auto-deleting clips hitting LSF before a mirror is even produced. Whoa. You, Sean Morgan, might benefit from adopting it during curious points in time. Ooh, I didn't even know that was a thing. That's really smart of Cutie and Daph. I know Daph had that. I totally forgot that Daph was embroiled in Crackergate at one point. I'm actually allowed to say that. You're just not allowed to say it against someone. And I know that that's true. I'm actually allowed to say the word cracker. I thought I wasn't allowed to say it at all. But Asmongold said it on his stream. A bunch of other people said it on their streams. You're allowed to say it. You just can't call someone else that. So actually I can say it now. Whew, thank God, right? Have you considered that me as a white man, I'm sick of playing as non-white people in video games? How am I supposed to immerse myself in the characters not exactly like me? That's a good point. That's a good point. That is a good point. Anyways, yeah. I also stand by my stance that really, honestly, genuinely, there's no one actually offended by the word cracker. Okay? I refuse to believe it. I just don't believe it, okay? It's faux outrage. Now, if Frogan had called Ludwig a white boy, I'd be like, ooh. I know at least a couple white people who don't like that term, who were called that term many a time, and they're like, don't call me that. Okay. I'd be like, maybe Ludwig actually might be offended. Okay. Maybe. Okay. But like, cracker, no, I don't believe it. Okay, I don't believe it. As a black man, I'm happy black people are getting representation, especially in Japan. Yeah, and it's a cool fucking story. It's a cool story. I think it's a cool story worth telling. I think that, like, honestly, we could benefit from cool presentations of black main characters, right? On a full moon, I'll fuck anything. Are you a werewolf? What is that? They just want to be oppressed and victimized so bad, which just shows how far removed they are from any real life struggle. Yeah. Yeah. I just, there's no problems that you are dealing with in life. If you live in the United States, there's no problems that you are dealing with in life, like real problems that are being caused by you being white. You might be dealing with poverty, which is real. You might be dealing with other problems. You might be dealing with disabilities, which are real. But you are not being systemically oppressed because you are white. I guess the sun is targeting you, but we didn't make the sun. The sun was kind of just here and we showed up. So like, you take that up with God, man, because we didn't make that decision for, I didn't, as someone who doesn't burn, Okay? That wasn't me. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Okay? To be honest, as a black woman, I'm so tired of hearing about people complain about diversity using black women as the most extreme example. Like, we don't fucking exist. Yeah. As a white male, white boy is fighting words, C word is corny. Yeah, if somebody, I just think if some, maybe it's just my white friends. I'm just talking about my white friends, which I totally have. But like, I don't have a single white friend that would get offended by the word cracker. Not a single one. I have a couple that are like, if someone called me a white boy, I assume they're trying to fight. Now, personally, I think no purpose flour is the funniest one, in my opinion. If we're talking about anti-white slurs, all right? That one and Mayo Monkey are like just right up there. They're just so funny. They're so hilarious. Objectively so good. Oh my goodness. I always thought Wonder Bread was great. Wonder Bread is also good. Wonder Bread is just so good. Oh my God. Yeah. Call Jenna a white boy and film her reaction? No, she wouldn't get offended at that. I would have to call her like a soulless ginger or something. And then she would beat the shit out of me, which is why I'm not going to do that. Because I don't want to get the shit kicked into me. She's a lot stronger than me. A lot, actually. I tried to pick her up once, and I'm very weak, and I was, like, struggling. And then she picked me up and, like, started fucking squatting me. I was like, okay, you know, just unnecessary. Just, I get it. You're a lot stronger than me. Cool. Lord, I have seen what you've done for others. You should be grateful. This is stupid. Anyways, moving on. The third best compliment I've ever received was, you got a lot of soul for a white boy. I'm the most soulful ginger there is. Yeah. Okay. And then I wanted to talk about this. This video someone linked, and then we can move on from this fucking stupid ass conversation about black people in media. This is, I guess, a Japanese man talking about the most famous samurai, foreign samurais. Wait. Sorry, I wanted to read. I didn't read that. The content of my videos are based on personal studies and experience. There is no intention of denying other theories or cultural aspects, and cultural aspects. And you know this is authentic because this guy is being foiled. He's being fooled. He's being duped by the English language. And Americans, for some reason, have a dumb language called English that doesn't make any fucking sense. And for some bizarre reason, the word intentional in English is spelled with 2 T's. And you know this guy is definitely not American because he doesn't know all of our dumb rules by spelling intention wrong. So this is an authentic video. Let's see it.
Let me first start from the most famous foreign samurai, Yasuke. In the Civil War era, many slaves were brought to Japan by European merchants and diplomats. Yasuke was one of those slaves that was brought to Japan by Italian Jesuit. He was born in Africa, where Mozambique is now. Yasuke met the strongest samurai at that time, Oda Nobunaga, in 1581. Oda Nobunaga is the first samurai that almost conquered all of Japan. He was called the Devil due to his aggressive attitude and violent nature. This powerful samurai was very interested in his African slave, so he asked the Italian Jesuit to let him stay in Japan. The slave didn't have a name, so Nobunaga decided to call him Yasuke. Yasuke was 182 centimeters in a time when the average height of a man was 154
5 feet. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That was just a joke.
centimeters. Also, in some historical records, it is explained that Yasuke had strength worth 10 men. He was also a very honest and hardworking man. So he was
Polly pocket ass men.
officially allowed by Oda Nobunaga
Short kings be like, yo, you got a spare pocket I could sit in?
to carry katanas like samurais and own his own house. Yasuke would even hold Nobunaga's weaponry from time to time, which was a very honorable job because it meant that he was truly trusted. This means that Yasuke was in a much higher rank than most Japanese at that time. Oda Nobunaga died in a fire set by a traitor subordinate in 1582. Yasuke was staying at the same
Lieutenant
temple
God,
that
thank
night.
you.
Yasuke ran to tell the allies that there is a traitor and to protect the son of Oda Nobunaga. He was defeated and caught, but was released due to his loyalty. There are no historical records about what happened to him afterwards.
Again,
Yasuke is very popular and famous in Japan, so there are many books, mangas, and movies about him. If you're interested,
and that's because it's a very cool story during a period of slave trade where there potentially were slaves being, where potentially Yasuke was a slave that was imported into Japan and then becomes trusted with like one of the most powerful samurais. It's a very compelling, cool story. It's just a really interesting, cool story. This idea that like Japanese people are going to be mad that like American game companies are making samurai games where Yasuke is one of the main characters is just silly. It's just so silly. I swear to God, dude, Japanese people are not giving a shit about this. They are not. Nobunaga is literally like the most famous dude at that time. I mean, everybody knows the name Nobunaga. Ubisoft is French. Oh my, of course it is.